Hello, I'm Sarah Venza. I apologize for the softness, I guess, of my mic volume today. Assuming it's soft right now. I'm trying to do this without waking up my roommates, so. Anyway, I'm gonna be doing an IOB hard speedrun for y'all. So, what separates hard from easy? Essentially, what it boils down to is enemies are going to be having a lot more health than they usually do. So I'm going to be using a lot more ammunition to defeat them. It's going to take more punches, kicks, etc. I will also not be able to regenerate health anywhere near as quickly. I will also not be able to regenerate focus, anywhere near as quickly. So basically, every percentage of focus that I'm going to be going through is also going to be draining much more quickly. So that's going to make focus pumping even actually necessary if I want to do certain things. This is the best example I could give would be if I were doing a ghost hard run. During the SWAT helicopter fight, you would need to do focus pumping in order to completely benefit from focus, while also expending your entire ammo reserve for a single cycle during that SWAT helicopter fight. But yeah, it's still gonna definitely be necessary for Niobe as well. So let's see, I talked about health, focus, the amount of health that enemies have. Yeah, let's just get into it. Oh, right, enemies are also a lot more accurate and rapid with their gunfire, so they're actually pretty deadly. So let's just get into it in 3, 2, 1. No, oh, never mind. Now. So we're starting off here in this post office because we need to recover a dead drop from that, which reveals some pretty critical information regarding the war between the real world humans and the real world machines.
What did you get today?
Look, we need help in here.
Hi Titus, bye Titus. Yes, I was voiced by James Arnold Taylor. But, yeah. We don't know, we know roughly where this dead drop is, where it got moved to within this post office, but unfortunately it's in a weird place. So we need to go behind the scenes and, make our way to it that way. A little bit of spoilers, there's going to be a little bit of running all around the post office. Because the design of this place is kind of funky. And the way it's ran is also kind of funky. Flashing light warning for the rest of the video. That's what you just saw me doing was focus pumping. That's going to be creating a kind of a flashing light effect, unfortunately. So, yeah. Focus pumping, in case you didn't already pick up on it, focus is literally just your bullet time meter. Going to be utilizing focus hops occasionally. Frequently, occasionally, actually, to dodge enemy bullets. Oh gosh. Hopefully not grab onto ledges like that. Put myself in a really dangerous situation. Thankfully, these guys have, the slowest handguns. So they're not too dangerous, but still there's a lot of them. actually going to disarm this first guy here. Play it a little bit safer. Don't think it even amounted to anything really, but that's okay. There's one less enemy shooting at me. So not too dissimilarly from the easy runs, so we're still going to be running and focus pumping a lot, but we're going to do it with a bit more care, essentially.
She's got the package. Get
All right. Now we've found the PO box. We need to dispatch a few cronies. Cronies of whom? Yes. I do not like where that guy went. Okay. That was a bit slow, admittedly, but, yeah. So here's where I got the, yeah. This is why I think that enemies have, like, quadruple the health that they usually do. Because it takes 4 shots with the SMG 5mm, or 9mm rather, to kill these guys. But on easy it takes 1. What are we at, 7? Or something? Where's everybody? Is the door opened? I feel like it might have. It has, okay. It's a little bit harder to keep track of how many enemies I've killed when I have to, like, keep an eye on my focus and my my health numbers. But basically, that door can open after, like, between 9 and 12 kills is my OV. Story-wise, our partner, in this case Ghost, has created a big distraction by setting something off here in the main area of the post office, the sorting area, anyway. Oof, wow. Oh my god. What the heck? Okay, that's not common. Usually enemies despawn after I get far enough away from them, but he was dedicated. That's okay, I probably could have handled that better. I also did kind of just wake up, so my reaction time is probably not as good as it could be. do a little bit of camera trickery to turn the camera around so I'm facing where I want to go by the time I'm done with that kill animation. Oh. Now we have some really fast driving courtesy of the 1.2 update.
They're right behind you. They're right. We're almost there. It's the next street.
Okay, I need to be back here by like 10:50. In the meantime, though, we have some, we have the city to drive around and explore a little bit of. Maybe some shops or what have you to go ruin. Very Blues Brothers-esque, if you ask me. See how long I can get away with sitting here. Doesn't seem that long.
Farewell.
Go drive around this roundabout here once. Use of unnecessary violence in the apprehension of these superhumans has been approved. But yeah, now that we have the dead drop, we've gotten away from the post office, we are ready to get out of the Matrix. In order to do that, we need to answer the phone, which is just up this ladder and through that door. Oops, there's an agent behind that door. So if anybody hasn't seen The Matrix, what agents are protectors of the system. They can move in and out of any software still hardwired to their system, i.e. humans. So, any mind who has not been freed is potentially an agent. In The Matrix, they are everyone, and they are no one. Actually, I'm gonna grab... maybe I'm not. No, I'm not gonna grab it. There was that health pack there. I was considering grabbing it for a little bit, but... Anyway, up this ladder through that door. Now that we've jacked out of the Matrix, seen what is on the disk that was within that dead drop, we now know that there are a whole bunch of Sentinels on their way to Zion, the last human city.
It's her. Let's leave. Please.
And we need to now assemble the fleet and hold a crisis meeting. That guy says, "Please don't shoot me." We oblige him by slamming his head into the ground. Sit down, bud. You'll also occasionally see me jumping around a lot, too. That's partly to preserve my movement speed. Because, okay, that guy just fell through those stairs. How much health did I lose? Oh, wow, I actually came out of there relatively unscathed. Alright, entry shotgun. So this level has the same hazards as it usually does. These, steam canisters or something. Either way, they're very hazardous because if, anybody should happen to hit one with a gun while as I'm passing through it, and likewise for the enemies, they tend to, get blowed up. Getting pretty lucky with despawns so far. Really lucky. Absurdly lucky. Ridiculously lucky, actually. What the heck? There we go. There was somebody. Oh, I did take your weapon away already by knocking you down. Wow! Oh my god. The despawn luck. Blow up Agent Jackson there. It's okay, he won't mind. He'll be back. A little bit later on. But that instance of him, he's gone. It's one less bit of Agent Jackson for a little bit. Give me your ammo, thank you. Entry shotgun ammo. It's gonna hopefully carry us through one of the rougher ends of the level in a little bit. Not the next one, though. The next one's actually pretty tame. So I'm actually going to show off, like, what I do to make it work here. So, funny enough, these guys, while deadly, don't know how to look at their targets. So they're shooting at where I was instead of where I was going to be. So, you know, I just take advantage of that. Now, that obvious route that Spark says that they're covering is the route that we would take on easy. But, yeah, instead we're just gonna play it safe and go up that first little tower thingy, and then, break a dude's neck and get his sniper rifle. Because that sniper rifle is gonna come in handy over here. Niobe, I did not want to go down that ladder yet. Because there are 4 snipers, 1 on the swing. Okay, he's dead. 1 on top of the fuselage. And then 1 on this tower. 1 on the other end of the tower. And I also didn't want to go down the ladder at all, so. Ladders are kind of slow. Best left avoided most of the time. Now we are in the bells. This is where I would uneasy. This is where I'd be saying, yes, I'm actually navigating through this actually pretty dark area without any assistance, but this time I'm actually going to be using the sniper rifle with the infrared scope. There we go. Okay, now we're going to switch to the entry shotgun. Because there's going to be, like, a lot of enemies over in this area. And, yeah. It wasn't entirely necessary, actually, because I was actually pretty lucky. I had a clear stairway that I could go up. And those little red lights that you saw, those were stun grenades that were being thrown.
Yes, I see. I'll climb up to you.
Yeah, as Spark says, we need to take this ladder, these ladders, to meet up with Vector. Up top here. And then we go through these 2 doors, do a little focus hop, and then hold focus as we're descending so that we ideally don't lose any health because we're hitting a kill plane. Okay, and I'm going to do a little bit more camera trickery here. Waiting specifically until I've seen the parachutes are like no longer visible within the game world. Because if I do it too early, I would have been able to move and not get the parachutes actually. So now we have a scuffle with Agent Johnson. We need to push him off the back of this plane. And it looks like we're going to be able to do so pretty cleanly, actually. Okay. Sometimes he likes to hang on to the very edge, in which case you just fire a gun at him, and which would initiate his dodging function, being an agent and all. And then he would be forced to let go of the plane. It's pretty funny, actually. But, yeah, all that stuff going through the airport was to help get one of Captain Soren's boys, Axel, away from the agents because they were on doing their own mission at the airport, and Niobe and Ghost happened to be pretty conveniently nearby, like getting ready to use the airport's payphones to initiate the full recall. Get into contact with the fleet to assemble a crisis meeting. Crisis meeting has now happened. Neo has defeated the 3 agents. You know, the Agent Smiths were like, everything's gone exactly as expected. Well, not exactly. Oh, Balor's actually putting in a lot of work right now. Yeah, so funny enough, the thing about hard, not only enemies are better at shooting their guns, but our allies are better at shooting their guns too. Notably Ballard. So my actual strategy for hard mode is to just let Ballard take care of all the enemies for me. For himself, actually. And this guy can be tricky because his hitboxes are weird when he's all the way up there like that. But yeah, we need to help more of the fleet get out of the Matrix, so... Ah, I was afraid of that. That's okay. That is the most ideal disarm that I can get throughout this run, by the way. It's only doable if an enemy's got a gun that like takes 2 hands to wield. And I'm gonna finally take care of this guy who's been following me. Just the notion of slamming him into the ground is what did him in. That's funny. Okay, and then there's one more guy up top here. Just want to knock him down. Don't care about necessarily killing him. And now we're going to hopefully do a very cool grenade jump, which will let us jump over an invisible wall, specifically this one, which ends like right at that line on that pipe on the left. All in all, that was pretty good. Sometimes it can take a few attempts, which on hard because of the fact that enemies spawn in behind you and you need to get rid of them. Otherwise you will die trying to do that. Yeah, I saved a fair bit of time there. Okay, put the gun away and pull it back out so I effectively reload it. Ow, ow. Okay, and then there's one guy up here. Looks like he was getting ready to throw a grenade. Would have been bad. Because unlike stun grenades, these things are offensive. They'll hurt you. They are properly offensive. They'll make you feel things you don't want to feel. They'll make you very sad. If used against you. If used right against the enemies, it'll make them feel bad. Okay, and then there's going to be about 4 guys up here with pistols, specifically this 92 FS pistol. It's annoying because you can see it's got a capacity of 15 bullets. There's 2 guys behind that corner there. They go down pretty easy.
See the suspect down there. Grenade will get him out of there.
Can pull the SS shotgun out here because it's got higher capacity. Pull the gun out as I'm climbing the ladder because I will need it once I reach the top because there's these 2 fellows. I think I killed the first one, but I'm just gonna yellow it. I think I actually succeeded in killing him. That's all
The
good.
end of the canal, just ahead.
Little hop before that cutscene triggers. Now we're gonna throw a grenade to help get Worm out.
Be ready. The suspect will be.
I need a hand.
And also, you know, dispatch the like half dozen SWAT guys that were kind of pinning him down. Metaphorically speaking. Oh, you're right. Yeah, there's a whole canal of enemies here. On easy, we just run right through them, but it's not easy. It's hard. So, can't exactly do that. Can, however, run past these two guys. Let them expend most of their 30 shots with their MP5s. While doing focus bumping. It's pretty neat. M16 is also pretty neat. You'll probably see some use here and there in this this section of levels. But yeah. The final people that we need to help out are Bane and Malachi. I could have handled this way better. Okay. Oh. I think I also undid the despawn. That's unfortunate, but it's alright. I'm not as warmed up as I could be. Yeah, because taking the left path usually despawns the two guys that are supposed to be down there. Be gone, bud. Get a little bit of a health top off there. I'll probably keep that SS shotgun, actually. 5 shots should be enough to dispatch one of the guys. Not here, but over up here. I'm gonna assume that worked. there's a sniper over there, so we need to play this like extra careful. Thankfully, he's revealed himself. Doesn't always like to do that. Sometimes you have to fish for a long time with the entry shotgun, or SS shotgun, whatever shotgun you happen to be using, just to try and knock him down and stop him from shooting at you more. Two guys over here. And here. Give it up, bud. Come on. Okay, here comes a really dangerous part. The very end of this level. I say really dangerous, and I just get through it mostly unscathed. Now comes the final gauntlet of this bit. Oh, okay. Okay, that's one. Need a little bit more focus before I go and go after the other. Okay. Throw a grenade down that way. Hide behind the corner a little bit. And then that's that, as they say. Now we finally get to try and help Malachi and Bane escape. Also, Ballard came back.
Malachi! I'll cover you.
Let's go.
I'll try to cover you. This bit's really hard. Actually had a little focus to spare. That's not common. Alright, sewers. Literally out of the sewers in record time. Because it didn't take me like 5 gajillion attempts to rescue Malachi and Bane. Now we're at the chateau, aka the fun part of the run. This is where we start to see more of that kung fu fighting.
We will make you suffer.
Never mind how much of this is actual kung fu or not. Say hello to Vlad, by the way. Leader of the vampires within the Merovingian Chateau. Little charge move that he and another boss in this area, Cujo, like to do. It's unblockable, so you have to dodge it. Or just, you know, take it to the... Yeah. It's annoying. Vlad, at least, is, like, kind of okay with trying to throw. The next guy, Cujo, is, he's less susceptible to that. Oh. Oh god. Okay. Ah, there we go. End of the fight.
I have other business to attend to. Until next time.
Best subtitle in the game, by the way. Yeah. So that fight with Vlad there, the introduction to him, I guess, is basically just damage him until he prevents you from actually slaying him by driving a wooden stake through his heart. His digital heart.
Ah, I find you in Persephone's bed. I admire your pointless spirit.
I like how Sparks puts it when you get the wooden stake as Ghost. That weapon seems to disrupt their code. It's like, yeah, I think a wooden stake through my heart would disrupt my code too. And that is the end of Vlad's story. Hope he enjoyed his 15 minutes of fame. Also, I needed to make sure I got rid of that crossbow entirely, because I haven't really talked about how ammo works in this game. Essentially, whenever you pick something up for the very first time, like you don't have it in your inventory already, or currently, you get the weapon with full capacity. But if you pick it up when you do have it in your inventory, even if it's like you have like only one bullet left with it, you only get it for like half full capacity. So what is a crossbow if not a stake shooter? Making it pretty valuable for the regular enemies in this chateau.
Show yourself, coward.
Admittedly, I kind of use the first bolt out of like muscle memory because that's what I do on easy. But on hard, I usually save the 2 bolts for these 2 vampires here. But instead, I'll just take a different way to slay these guys. And we have no crossbow, so that'll make dodging with a a gun cartwheel a whole lot easier
This ends
to
here.
try and pull off. Ah, yeah, he likes to block the focus throws. And regular throws, for that matter. So what I'm trying to do with Cujo here is I'm basically just trying to get him down to his halfway health point, so that we enter his intermission phase and I can regenerate more focus again. But this also does put us in a bit of a precarious position because he jumps out of the ring and then circles it with his entry shotgun, which makes him pretty deadly, actually. So we kind of want to keep the fighting game camera active pretty much the entire time so he doesn't use that gun. One of the rules of the fighting game CQC camera is that enemies that you're not currently engaged with in actual melee combat tend not to shoot at you. I say tend not to because it's not a guarantee that they don't. Okay, let's maneuver back over to this guy. He blocked it. Of course he did. Ugh. That's okay. Gonna do a focus kick off that wall there. Oh, I thought I dodged that. How wrong I was. He's got a sliver of health left. There we go. I'm gonna kick him towards that door. Not the worst fight that I've had. Certainly not the best.
My eyes, they took my eyes.
I've never gotten a hard Cujo fight done before the music loops. So, it's usually a little bit after the song is looped. But I actually managed to slay him. Yeah, so to kind of quickly recap the story, like the reason why we were in the Merovingian chateau in the first place is because while exiting the sewers, while trying to escape the sewers, we were kind of cornered by Agent Jackson and Salo and Vida, the twins, the ones that are getting aggravated and reloaded. But, yeah. The Keymaker pops in out of nowhere, takes us through one of those programmer's maintenance passages, and is like, this is how I escaped. And I have this key. It's meant only for the one. Will you bring it to him? And then, yeah, it's, they have a little run-in with Cain and Abel. And the key gets taken away. So we had to get that key back and get it back to the keymaker because, oops, he wasn't supposed to meet with any of the humans quite yet. So after a little bit of R&R at, at home, we have to jack back in because we need to find Morpheus. Find the Nebuchadnezzar. Okay. So I didn't really talk about this when doing city driving, because it wasn't super pertinent then, but it's going to be here. The Ghost Bar is essentially a focus bar, and his bar depletes just as fast, and he is also just as weak as we are, so he's kind of just there for show, except for that one car. Hi, Ghost. Looking cool, Ghost. But yeah, as long as we don't, like, really ever look backwards, the agent's kind of not there. It's Schrodinger's agent car. Paradoxes in my Matrix? It's more likely than you think. Yeah, I think that's why I've been tending to take it more slowly route through the last section of that level. But yeah, funny thing about the 1.2 patch though, this level, cars go like zanily fast. It's actually bonkers. It's like the car's got a nitro boost of some sort. You've got boost power, etc., etc. Alright, skip all those splits because I'm apparently bad at splitting when I'm also doing commentary. That's okay. So now we get to answer the question of how in the world did, how was Niobe exactly responsible for that power plant explosion? This is the story. It's going to be quite a breakneck adventure. Haha. I think one of the doors back there is kind of glitched. It's still going, wow. So I'm just gonna hold focus the entire time here to play it safe. And, oh my god. Oh my god, I am so sorry. I have literally never had this sound glitch happen before. This is actually absurd. Oh my god. I think I'm actually gonna try SDing here. Just to get rid of this freaking noise, because, oh my god, it's actually awful. Come on. Shoot me. Oh my god, that was actually awful. I've never had that happen before. Legitimately. Now I can actually focus on the game. Alright, so there's going to be 2 enemies behind these 2 pillars here. They have some pretty nasty weapons. But I have a pretty nasty weapon myself, see? So anyway, I start blasting. Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, the Matrix Reloaded suite isn't playing now, so this section won't be incurring any DMCA flags. And yeah, there's a bunch of snipers around the place, and that's why we're doing all these little focus hops, just for the bullet dodgy frames.
Female spotted in Sector C.
Okay, good. We had the guns out. Yay. I'm out of focus, though. Okay. A little bit more focus, please. Just 1%. That's all I want. Okay, do I have a shotgun? I do have a shotgun. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's not what I meant by going, Niobe. I also didn't mean to tap the shift key on accident. Clear the level. Run the heck away from these guys. Use a little bit of focus so that we can slow them down. Bullet time and everything. Come on. There we go. Gonna take care of the sniper really quick. It's got a little bit of a... I'm not gonna make that joke, actually. I want to, but I'm so not going to. Oh no! The guy didn't drop his grenades. That's really unfortunate. That's gonna make this next section harder. Needlessly harder. Well, okay. I guess we get to try doing this without any safety nades. It's gonna make a little cutscene a bit weird later on when Niobe throws Ghost like her last grenade. I guess it's a secret reserve, like a plot reserve of sorts, but... I'm also, like, expending ammo that I'm, like, low on so that I don't accidentally, like, scroll to it. Sorry, that was literally me trying to dismiss an error message and failing to do it the way I usually do it, which is pretty fast. Just skip the cutscene and hit the spacebar to dismiss the thing. Oh my god, buddy. No, you don't get to do that. No. I refuse. Oh my god. Really? Really? How many bullets do you take, bud? The answer is obviously more than I think. Like that. There we go. So this launcher, what's the deal with it? What's that gas? That is chlorobromomethane gas. Apparently, one of the side effects of it is it fills the human lungs with liquid, effectively drowning them. You might be wondering, why is this thing in a nuclear facility? What's the deal with that? It's actually a long-range fire extinguisher. Is the purpose for it that we were given by Ghost. Or not Ghost, Sparks. I know characters' names. And yeah, Transformer Field 2 is a gauntlet. It's rough even on easy, but it's even rougher on hard, obviously. Switch back to the launcher, because I want to do a cool maneuver.
Are you there?
Is he dead? He's dead. Okay. I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better at that little trick shot. Because, yeah, the guy that was on the left when I was doing that trick shot with the launcher there, he has this gun. Oh my god. How many shots did I just use on you? Jeez. Like half my reserve, it felt like. Yeah, not having grenades for this part is going to stink, but I think that gas will stink a little bit worse. Save that ammo if I can help it. Yeah, you see how fast he's shooting that thing? I can't even shoot it that fast. I literally cannot do it. The game will not let me. Oh gosh, where are you going? Okay, He's down for the count. Okay, sometimes the game just refuses to let me do the camera jinkery. The camera hack, as it were. I'll let my focus regen a little bit for this next area, because there's like 3 guys at the end of it. Alright. That's Transformer Field 2. Done. Hooray!
Base, Sniper 1.
Honestly, one of the hardest parts of this. The end section of the power plant is a little bit better for Ghost, in that it doesn't give you the hard part, like... No, it does give you a hard part, like, literally immediately afterwards, but... I know, it's actually just worse. It's actually so much harder. Honestly, figuring out how to, like, deal with it it has been a puzzle for me. I mostly have it sorted now, but it's still not great. Also, yeah, those guys can just shoot you through the floor, making that pretty annoying. Those are the guys up top across the way from the sniper that we, I'll just say Vulcan neck pinched. Let's put it that way. A different a twist on the Vulcan neck pinch. That wasn't a joke I was going to make earlier, but I actually like it better. God, I love the G36 in this game. I hate going up against it, but okay. That works. I like that. I don't have any more launcher shells. Okay, that's fine. You're still alive, bud? Wow. Not even mad. I'm just impressed. Did it? Okay, no, I have the ammo. I'm good. I have enough anyway. Didn't take that right turn sharply enough. That's okay. Oh, and I took that left turn too sharply. Oh no.
Go, go, go!
Alright, now, do a little bit of ducking and weaving as fast as we were able to anyway. Gonna do a gun dive against these 2 guys. There's 1 guy in the middle, and then after we take care of him, 2 more enemies drop in. Okay, now I can put the shotgun away in favor of the G36. Because after we finish climbing this, not quite spiral rampway, you have to kill that guy. Then a bunch more will drop in, but they don't have any weapons out. I think they do get them out, like, after a little bit of time, but not immediately, so we can just jump past them and ignore them. Now we get to do the single greatest physical skip in the game. That little section was just a comedy of errors. Not major ones, just funny ones. An actual comedy of errors to me, anyway. But, yeah, that actually skips, like, the vast majority of this level, which is a lot, and I mean a lot of ladder climbing. So, it's slow. It is actually slow. You know what isn't slow, though? Niobe. She can run. And she needs to run now, because this place is about to go sky high. And we need to get the heck out of Dodge. Now we need to avoid dodging and just accept Seraph's delivery of pain direct from his tea house. But yeah, that losing to Seraph there skips the canon ending, where, you know, Niobe or Ghost would meet with the Oracle, and then have to end up running away from a bunch of Agent Smiths. It's all good stuff, but it's not within the context of a, you know, character any % speedrun. Yeah, either way, once we're done with all of that business, we need to avoid sharing the fate of the Osiris by fleeing these sentinels. Which is a whole lot easier for Niobe than it is for Ghost, and I say that as somebody who kind of like can kind of take or leave the actual flying segments, because this is rough to watch. It's rougher to play sometimes, but we do have one saving grace in that it's actually kind of hard to get properly lost in these tunnels. Like, so long as you're going generally where the goal tracker is telling you to go, you're pretty much okay. Because all these different paths, they're all diverging and reconverging paths, so it's like physically impossible to get lost in these tunnels. You know, for all the faults that this place, like this level design has, I will give that much some credit. The goal tracker is actually coming in clutch here. As long as I'm not running into walls and stuff, I'm following, like, largely where the Fog of War is visible. There we go. This is a pretty big tunnel. I pretty much know roughly where I am now. I'm not too far from the end of this section. But in just a little bit, we're gonna have a tow bomb thrown at us, a self-guiding explosive. And that is going to be the thing we're going to be trying to escape from. Also, there's going to be more sentinels behind it, of course, but yeah. Just a little bit more flying to do. I'm also kind of challenging myself by trying not to actually shoot at these sentinels, trying to take this, like, as pacifist as possible, I suppose. But, yeah. It's kind of a dangerous game to play, too, because it's very easy to get caught on the piping and all the other various objects that are in these tunnels. So, yeah, now we are escaping the self-guiding explosive. And, yeah, this section is a lot worse for Ghost because it's longer. It's on rails. And you actually have to, like, destroy the sentinels because you're at, like, 49% hull capacity. So, yeah, it's not great. But, I was not expecting to PB, actually. That kind of caught me off guard. This is live commentary, by the way, at the time of recording this, but, yeah.
Charge the EMP.
Armed and ready.
How long do we have?
8, 7,
We gotta wait until they're all in range.
5, 3, 2,
Come on.
1.
Steady, steady.
Shit now! Punch it now!
Now!
What if they don't find us?
And yeah, it's here that the crew of the Logos will sit until
What do you think will happen after?
until the hammer reaches them in Revolutions.
It's gonna be one hell of a ride.
Pretty sure it's the hammer. And what would a movie sequel tie-in be without a you know, a trailer to the second sequel?
Give me full power, full system.
Are we too late?
Mr. Anderson, welcome back. We missed you.
It ends tonight.
Neo.
He fights for us. Well, it's nice to have something to look forward to.
Indeed it is.
But yeah, that's Niobe Hard, Enter the Matrix. And for PB purposes, I guess there's my in-game time. That's yeah. It's a very fun run. Like, it's hard, but it's fun. Like, I honestly didn't expect I'd kind of like hard mode as much as I kind of do. But like after taking time to figure the game out more, you know, essentially learn the rules, and also how to basically bend some of them. Very, very Matrixy like mindset, I suppose. But yeah. It's fun. I like doing it, and hope it was okay. I like doing it except for when I'm grinding ghost attempts because of the fact that there are 2 levels. Are there 2 specifically? There's one in particular. No, there are kind of 2 specifically. There's Secret Passage 2, which funny enough, that's where I would save actually, because that level can soft lock on you. the door to exit the level just can sometimes not open. There is no rhyme or reason for it. It just can sometimes not open. So it's very, very frustrating to get to that point in the run. And then, oops, lol, guess your run's dead. And it wouldn't be so bad, but there's another point where it's just like, the game can just say, no, you're not going to PB today. I'm not going to let you do this today. And that is Twins in Pursuit, because Niobe still drives fast with the 1.2 patch, but she can drive a little too fast. If you haven't seen a hard mode Enter the Matrix speedrun done on PC using the 1.2 patch, I recommend doing so, just to see how absurd it is, but also to see like just how that and everything else about Twins in Pursuit in particular makes it so rough and also just easy to have a run die to. I would, that is literally a hope and pray split, but anyway, yeah, that's the end of this video. Okay, no, that wasn't the end of the video. But the yeah. Hope the commentary was enjoyable. I hope I was able to provide some decent insight onto like what I'm thinking about when I'm doing these runs. And I probably could have gone a little bit more in detail of like the fighting game stuff, the CQC with the fighting game camera and all that. I'll go ahead and do that now though. It's kind of Smash Bros like in its simplicity, but it manages to achieve a fair little bit of a little bit of depth. Not quite like Smash Bros depth necessarily. I don't know if you even want to consider that all that deep, but it's janky. It looks clunky. It admittedly does feel a bit clunky. But it's easy to pick up on, I think. Definitely one of the fun parts of the game, and actually it's I like the fact that the console versions, because this was semi-removed in the PC version, I think the data for it is all still there, it's just inaccessible. In the hacking minigame that you can do is a multiplayer mode where you can select from a set certain levels which have a set two fighters going against each other. One of them has like Morpheus against Agent Smith. One of them is Vlad versus Cujo. One is Ghost versus Niobe. One is Niobe versus Trinity. And there's another one. And there's also Ballard versus Seraph, I think. There's another one with like two background NPCs, I think from Chinatown or something. But it takes place within the chateau. And then the last one is Firebird Man versus Police Car Man, anthropomorphic cars. But yeah, it's fun. It's actually where I picked up on like a lot of like planted the seeds for my figuring out the CQC. If I hadn't like figured that out, I think I would have a lot rougher of a time on Cujo. Haha, rough werewolf, lol lol lol. But yeah, just getting to this point mentally has been, as far as the game is concerned, mentally, it's been an adventure. I honestly like kind of picked up this game thinking like, what if I ran this? That'd be so funny. And then I did it, and then I kept doing it. And I'm still doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it. Because, yeah, sub 114 Niobe hard as possible. And I'm gonna try and, like, actually accomplish that at some point. But, yeah, I'm not quite finished with this game yet. It's like, cool, I've achieved a world record sweep. But I can do better. So I'm gonna try and do better. But that is for future videos, if I should succeed. Until then, thank you for watching. If I'm submitting to a marathon and you're watching this for that reason, thank you for your consideration, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.